Every time I see her demanding to be called Duchess of Sussex, I laugh. Nobody in Britain calls her that. It's Meghan Markle. You know, she got lucky, met her prince, dragged him out of the bosom of his family, dragged him away from the monarchy.
TV screens everywhere just exploded because Piers Morgan went off live on air. The man who lost his Good Morning Britain job for refusing to back down over Meghan Markle is back, louder, sharper, and clearly ready for war. And this time, he didn't come empty-handed. He came with receipts. Just as Meghan dropped her glossy Netflix cooking show, Love Meghan, all polished and perfect, Piers swooped in fast. The photos, the scenes, the entire vibe. He ripped it apart piece by piece on Piers Morgan, uncensored. He didn't even make it past 10 minutes before shutting it off. And that alone said everything. He straight up called it unwatchable, slammed it as the ultimate vanity project, and pointed out what he claimed were fake moments, stage shots, and overly curated visuals. Meghan tried to present it as real, but here's why this hit way harder than normal criticism.
I had to leave my show, Good Morning Britain, you may remember, for casting doubt over the allegations of racism and the denial of treatment for mental health issues that Meghan Markle said she was denied by Buckingham Palace. Interestingly, in his 420-word or page or so book, his own story,
Piers isn't just some loud voice chasing attention. He actually knew Meghan before. She cut him off after meeting Harry. That history makes this way more explosive. When Piers says the photos show who Meghan really is, people listen. He's seen how she shapes her image and controls her narrative, so when he breaks it down live on TV, it lands differently. This wasn't a casual chat, this was a full public takedown. What Piers dropped on air could seriously crack the polished image Meghan has spent years building. So here's how it all unfolded on Piers Morgan Uncensored. The second Meghan's Netflix show hit the screen, Piers said he had to watch it, not because he was excited, but because he expected pure comedy for his show. He literally said, "I tried watching it, and honestly, after about 3 or 4 minutes, I was done. It was just unwatchable." 3 to 4 minutes. That's all he could take before tapping out.
what did you make of that, Jordan, to be suddenly appearing on Meghan Markle's podcast as a villain
the first
who was
thing I made
calling
of
women crazy?
In another moment, he claimed he pushed through 10 minutes. But either way, he didn't even finish a single episode. And that alone says a lot about how rough he thinks it is. Piers didn't hold back. He called the series the ultimate vanity project, saying it's basically people praising Meghan while she praises herself. Every shot feels designed to admire her. Every guest seems there just to hype her up. And every moment somehow circles back to how amazing she's supposed to be. It's wild when you think about it. A cooking show where the food isn't even the focus. It's not about learning skills, flavors, or techniques. It's about selling the Meghan brand, not recipes, promotion. And Piers caught that instantly, saying he knows her playbook inside out. Then came the visuals, and that's where things got messy. Meghan filmed the show in what she presents as her cozy Montecito home. Calm, peaceful, personal. But Piers pointed out one major detail: it's not even her house. According to him, the property used for filming doesn't belong to Meghan at all. It was borrowed. That single detail, he said, completely destroys the show's authentic image.
There they are. They're straight there, and I'm afraid I'm very cynical. I think it's purely for PR. It's purely for self-promotional reasons. They just want to be seen to be a rival royal family who are doing what the royals do, but they're not royals anymore. They don't do anything to earn.
You can't sell Love Meghan as coming from your home when the home isn't even yours. That's the kind of reveal Piers claims exposes the whole act. The shots show Meghan in a spotless magazine-ready kitchen, top-tier equipment, perfect lighting, every angle staged like a commercial. Piers called it out immediately. This isn't real life. It's a full production from top to bottom. And then there's the actual content. Making coffee, baking a basic cake, that's what viewers get. Piers didn't hold back there either, saying it's bizarre to present everyday tasks like they're groundbreaking. Teaching people how to make coffee? Seriously? According to him, that says everything about what the show is really trying to sell. Meghan presents it like she's redefining hospitality itself, and Piers caught every second of it. Especially those flower arranging scenes. The The camera zooms in as she carefully places flowers into vases, shot like she just invented floral design. Simple hosting basics are turned into so-called rare wisdom. And that's the trick. You can see the pattern clearly. Every frame is built to make Meghan look artistic, elegant, and effortlessly sophisticated. But strip it all down. What's really happening? She's doing completely normal, everyday things, just presented as extraordinary because she's the one doing them. That's the illusion Piers keeps calling out again and again.
Means I leave a show that I love, that's on fire and doing great in the ratings, so be it. And I've never regretted that, because actually sometimes in life you've got to stand up for what you believe in and don't let other people try and bully you in the way that I was. Meghan Markle wrote to the boss of the network.
I know.
Then came the moment Piers said revealed everything about Meghan's mindset, and it happened during a casual conversation with her friend Mindy Kaling. Mindy made what sounded like a harmless joke, saying people wouldn't believe Meghan Markle once ate at Jack in the Box. Totally innocent, right? Not to Meghan. She jumped in instantly to correct her, saying, "It's so funny that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know, I'm Sussex now. Not Meghan, not her name. Sussex." She clearly wanted to be addressed by the title, and Piers locked onto that moment immediately. On his show, he didn't hold back. He pointed out how strange it sounded, saying, "I come from Sussex in England. It's a county on the south coast. It has several million people living in it." His point was simple and sharp. Wanting to be called by a place name isn't normal. It actually sounds ridiculous when you think about it, and that's where the biggest contradiction explodes. Meghan and Harry said they stepped away from royal life to escape pressure, attention, and the system. They wanted privacy, peace, and something more normal. Yet here she is on a global Netflix show, correcting her own friend and pushing a royal title. She doesn't want Meghan's Sussex. She wants the title alone. And according to Piers, that's the core of everything. Without the title, the mystique fades. Without that royal shine, she's just another actress who married into fame. That's the tension Piers put right in the spotlight, and the cameras caught it perfectly. Meghan's expression when she corrected Mindy, that quick flash of irritation when her real name slipped out. It wasn't edited away, and it spoke volumes all on its own. Once something like that is on camera, it sticks forever. And here's why Piers Morgan's criticism hits harder than most. This isn't some random commentator throwing opinions around. There's real history here. Piers actually connected with Meghan back in 2016 after she reached out to him on Twitter saying she was a fan. They messaged often, talked regularly, and according to Piers, built what he believed was a genuine connection.
I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in the right to be allowed to have an opinion. If people want to believe Meghan Markle, that's entirely their right. I don't believe almost anything that comes out of it.
Eventually, they met in person at a London pub. He's described it clearly. "We had 2 hours in the pub. She had a couple of dirty martinis and we got on brilliantly. At the time, everything felt easy, natural, and real." That same night, Piers put her in a cab, and that cab took her straight to a party where she met Prince Harry. By the very next evening, Meghan and Harry were already having dinner together. And after that, nothing. Piers says he never heard from Meghan again. No message, no explanation, no goodbye, just silence. Later, he admitted, "I really liked her, that's why it hurt. I just think she's a slight social climber, I'm afraid." And that right there is why his criticism carries extra weight. When Piers breaks down Meghan's Netflix show, calling out stage scenes, polished visuals, and carefully crafted moments, it hits differently. He's not speaking as an outsider. This feels personal. He believes he's seen how Meghan operates up close, how she builds connections, manages her image, and how quickly people can disappear once they're no longer useful. That's why his words land so hard. Meghan can't easily brush it off as random negativity because Piers isn't guessing. He's speaking from his own experience. And when it comes back to the Netflix show, calling it a vanity project isn't just an insult in his eyes. It's what he believes is the truth. The entire production, according to him, serves one purpose: to sell the Meghan Markle brand, or as she now insists, the Sussex brand. Every episode, every shot, every carefully chosen word. It's all designed to present her as flawless, admired, and untouchable.
going to celebrate the joys of cooking, or at least something she's doing. Her Netflix show, I guess, is going to celebrate the joys of cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship, Piers. She's going to be teaching us how to be a good friend.
Well, as one of the many friends that she cut off.
Piers summed it up with blunt clarity when describing the core of the show. He said it's the ultimate kind of vanity project where it's all about people telling Meghan how great she is and her telling everyone how great she is. That's not storytelling, that's straight up self-promotion. The photos Netflix released say everything. Meghan laughing with celebrity, friends arranging flowers, casually prepping food like she's living this perfect, effortless life. But look closer, something feels off immediately. Every single shot is flawless. The lighting is perfect, every angle is planned, and her makeup looks untouched in every frame. None of it feels natural or spontaneous. These aren't real moments, they're polished, professional shoots dressed up as everyday life. And Piers spotted it instantly because, as he said, he knows what real, unplanned moments actually look like. And this wasn't one of them. Think about real cooking shows. Mistakes happen, food spills, chefs laugh it off, kitchens get messy. There's real teaching, real energy, real chaos. But in Meghan's show, none of that. It's the Instagram version of reality, filtered, staged, and polished to perfection while pretending to be casual. And here's what makes Piers' latest attack hit even harder. This isn't coming from someone who just dislikes her. This is the same man who lost his job on Good Morning Britain because he refused to back down over Meghan. Back in early 2021, right after Meghan and Harry's explosive Oprah interview, the one where she said she struggled deeply and raised serious concerns about the royal family, Piers came out swinging the very next morning on live TV. He said, "I don't believe a word she says, Meghan Markle. I wouldn't believe it if she read me a weather report." That single moment triggered absolute chaos. Over 58,000 complaints poured in. Even Meghan reportedly filed a complaint to ITV. The pressure exploded live on air when one of Piers' colleagues challenged him directly, saying he kept attacking Meghan because she cut him off. Piers didn't hesitate.
Markle has renewed her bitter feud with Piers Morgan. Do you all remember the pair have been at war after Meghan ghosted the ITV host who she had sparked a friendship with in London?
He stood up mid-show, said, "I'm done with this," and walked straight off set. Hours later, it was official. He left Good Morning Britain. His long-running ITV career ended because he refused to apologise for what he said about Meghan after that Oprah interview. Later, Ofcom cleared him, ruling that he hadn't broken any rules and that his comments were protected as free speech. But by then, the damage was already done. His name had been dragged, his job was gone, and his reputation had taken a serious hit. And that history matters now, because when Piers tears into Meghan's Netflix show, he's not just another critic throwing comments around. He's someone who already paid a massive price for speaking out. He's already lost a major career over this. And that's exactly why his words land differently. He's got nothing to lose, and that makes people pay attention. Now here's what Piers says most people are missing when they look at these Netflix visuals. At first glance, the show looks cozy and elegant. Soft lighting, warm tones, beautiful decor. It feels calm, inviting, almost aspirational. But once you know what to look for, the illusion starts to crack. First, the mansion. Every frame screams quiet luxury. That stunning Montecito estate, full of calm wealth, presented as Meghan's everyday home. Except, according to Piers, it's not hers. He claims the house was borrowed just for filming, and that one detail changes everything. Meghan's brand leans heavily on authenticity, selling the idea of real life, personal space, and genuine moments.
Harry has never met his father-in-law to this day. He's not allowed Thomas Markle to meet his grandkids. And yet the first sign of any disaster, mass shooting, any opportunity where they can go and pretend to be comforters in chief when they're not even asked for or required or needed, there they are. They're straight there.
But if the setting isn't even hers, then what are viewers actually looking at? A performance. It's borrowed, polished, and staged perfectly for the camera. And then comes the part most people overlook. The professional styling. Look closely at the promotional shots. Meghan's hair is flawless in every frame, not a single strand out of place. Her makeup stays perfect the entire time. Her outfits are carefully coordinated. And the lighting, pure studio quality. That's not natural kitchen. Light, that's a full production setup. This isn't someone casually cooking at home. This is a controlled environment with stylists, lighting crews, and carefully planned visuals. Even the smallest details are staged. Every flower arrangement looks like it belongs in a gallery. Every ingredient is placed perfectly. Every surface is spotless, shining like glass. And that's just not how real kitchens work. Real cooking gets messy. People spill things. They laugh, adjust, improvise. Real moments aren't this perfect, but in Meghan's show, nothing is ever out of place. Piers broke all of this down live on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Every angle, every staged frame, every overly polished image, he put it all under a microscope for millions to see. And that's exactly why it hits so hard, because this wasn't random guessing. It's a pattern he claims he's recognized for years, and that's what makes the criticism sting even more. Piers has been saying this since the very beginning. As far back as 2016, when Meghan was being praised in the media and embraced by the public, he was already calling her a social climber, and people went after him for it. They said he was bitter. They said he was jealous. They said he was just upset she cut him off.
Incredibly sad. And now she's wrestled Harry away from his family. So how happy they really are in this mansion in California when they have no connection now with any of their family, or one or two people, I find it very hard to believe that makes anybody happy. So it's at one level, it's sad. Another level, it makes me quite angry, the damage they've caused to the monarchy.
But then, look at everything that followed. Meghan married Prince Harry, and over time, things around her started to shift. Relationships changed, distance grew, and some connections faded away completely. Harry's bond with his brother broke down, and soon after, the two of them stepped back from royal duties altogether. Then came the move to California, and with it, a new chapter built around fame, influence, and a carefully crafted public image. According to Piers, everything unfolded exactly how he predicted. Strategic connections, controlled narratives, and a lifestyle where image, fame, and opportunity take priority over everything else. So when he looks at Meghan's Netflix show now and calls it fake, he's not just throwing drama around. He genuinely believes this is proof of what he's been saying all along. And some people might wonder, why does it even matter if Piers hates a cooking show? Because this goes way beyond personal taste. Piers Morgan has a massive audience. Millions watch his content. Millions follow him online. And when he goes in on something like this, it creates real noise. He didn't just critique the show, he said he couldn't even sit through it. Called it unwatchable. Said it felt like nothing but self-praise on repeat. That kind of reaction carries weight.
And they have no connection now with any of their family, or one or two people, I find it very hard to believe that makes anybody happy. So it's at one level, it's sad. Another level, it makes me quite angry, the damage they've caused to the monarchy. I think most British people are sick and tired of them. The polling has them now below Prince Andrew, which I didn't think would be humanly possible.
Netflix reportedly invested huge money into Meghan and Harry's content deal. This show is a major piece of that. And if viewers start losing interest or reviews turn negative, it doesn't just affect one series. It could impact their entire deal. Public perception matters. And Piers just influenced that conversation in a big way. Someone might have clicked on the show out of curiosity, but hearing that a man who actually knew Meghan couldn't last even 10 minutes, that changes how people see it instantly. People might just scroll past. And that's exactly what Meghan wouldn't want. What makes it even more awkward is this. The images Piers criticised weren't leaks. They weren't paparazzi shots. They were official Netflix promotional photos. These were carefully selected, approved, and presented as the best possible version of the show. And yet Piers says he saw through them immediately. Instead of warmth or authenticity, he saw staging. He saw performance, not personality.
Meghan Sussex appears to have served up a helping of subtle shade, getting a jar of her new as-ever jam to a rather unexpected recipient, ITV weather presenter Alex Beresford. The gesture has been widely interpreted as a pointed, if understated, response to longtime critic Piers Morgan. Mr. Morgan, the former Good Morning Britain host, has been openly hostile towards the Duchess for years.
He saw someone trying hard to appear relatable while filming inside a borrowed mansion, surrounded by a full professional setup. That coffee-making photo, Piers didn't see charm. He saw an ordinary moment turned into something overly dramatic and artificial. The flower arranging scene? What was meant to look calm and creative, he read as calculated and empty, and that shot with celebrity friends, Piers didn't see genuine connection. He saw name-dropping presented as friendship. According to his breakdown, every single promotional image followed the same pattern. Nothing natural, nothing spontaneous. Every frame designed to project a very specific image, not to tell a real story. And once you hear that perspective, it's hard to unsee. Those glossy, perfect photos don't look the same anymore, no matter how polished they are. So where does this leave things now? Piers just delivered one of his harshest critiques yet, live, unfiltered and in front of millions. He called the show unwatchable, questioned the intent behind every frame, and directly challenged the image Meghan has been presenting for years. That puts Meghan in a difficult position. Respond or stay silent.
Meghan is a trained actress. What she does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life. And there is no doubt that she studied Princess Diana. She studied her mannerisms towards Harry when he was a boy and the way that she grabs her face. And this is the psychopathic elements of what she does, putting a pregnancy text next to Princess Diana's hair, saying that she put her hands on the grave to have a conversation with her, bursting into tears.
If she responds, she risks adding fuel to the situation, giving Piers more attention, more headlines, and more opportunities to respond again. But if she stays quiet, the criticism doesn't disappear. It lingers. It spreads across social media, repeated and replayed without pushback. Millions have already heard Piers say he couldn't get through the show. Millions heard him question how real those images actually are. And commentary like that doesn't just fade away, it sticks. Either way, Piers walks away stronger. He's positioning himself as the one voice willing to say what others won't. The one who speaks directly while others stay careful. And here's the part that really shifts things. Piers isn't tied down anymore. He now runs Piers Morgan uncensored online, with no network limits, no corporate filters, and no one telling him what he can or can't say. That means every new Meghan project, every interview, every polished image can be picked apart instantly, loudly, and without restriction. And he's clearly not planning to stop anytime soon. He's carved out a whole new lane for himself, not just as a commentator, but as Meghan's most relentless critic. Let's be honest, people constantly say Piers is obsessed with Meghan Markle. That label follows him everywhere. And yes, there might be some truth to it. He hasn't let this story go, and it doesn't look like he ever will.
Let's talk about the Dove Self-Esteem Project. You were here speaking to a group of people last night, especially young people. What is it that you have to say that they should really listen to?
You know, when Dove reached out to me, it was so, as I was saying to you, it's just so easy for me to jump on board with this because their whole campaign right now for self-esteem is inspiring confidence in young.
But here's the reason his voice still hits so hard. Many of the things he's been warning about seem to line up with how everything played out. He's always said ambition is the driving force. He's always believed image comes before relationships. That status matters more than sincerity. Whether people agree or not, this Netflix project has only reinforced those views in his mind. To Piers' love, Meghan, the show, and all those polished promo photos perfectly reflect everything he's been saying for years. He sees non-stop focus. On appearance, all shine. No depth. The images, in his view, show someone trying hard to seem relatable while surrounded by production crews, styled props, and tightly controlled sets. And that's the contradiction he keeps pointing out. A picture-perfect world, that doesn't feel real. Now, that doesn't mean Meghan won't bounce back. She likely will. She has major resources, strong support, and global platforms most people can't even imagine. But the bigger issue now is trust. Because when someone who actually knew her personally says he couldn't even watch 10 minutes of her being herself, that kind of doubt sticks. It lingers. Piers Morgan went all in. He tore apart the photos, criticised the show, and directly challenged the image she's presenting to the world. And whether people support him or can't stand him, his words have clearly had an impact. For many viewers, that glossy image has started to crack. And once that kind of illusion breaks, it's incredibly hard to put it back together the same way again.